Welcome to Funnel Hacker TV. We're so excited to have you guys here. If you guys are going to Funnel Hacking Live, we have some news that you need to be on top of. And if you're not able to make it, how do you stay on top of everything? Because we have so much happening this year. If you're missing out this year, you're missing out this year. But we have a way to support you. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Let's roll the intro.
We are part of an underground group of entrepreneurs that you've probably never even heard of before. We are funnel hackers, and these are our stories.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Funnel Hacker TV. I'm Susan Leonardson, and this is
Ben Moot. How are you?
And oh my gosh, this is the last episode we're doing before we are actually in Orlando at Funnel Hacking Live. And so we thought we would make sure you guys know everything that you need to know at this point, whether you're going or not going. So, all right. So what we're going to do, we are going to be doing a lot of things today, but first make sure that you are subscribed, as Ben is very, very subtly reminding me to say, FHTV to 208-231-3797. We are going to be going live multiple times a day while we are there, starting when the event starts. We're going to be going live every day, though, at least once. So you're going to want to make sure that you are getting notified every time that we are going live. That is one of the ways that you're going to stay in the know with what's going on. We're going to be showing you like what's going on behind the scenes as everything's getting set up. We're going to be going live after sessions, giving you like key takeaways that we have. We're probably going to be bringing on like special guests. We're going to just be like pulling people from the hallway while we are going live. Like, hey, come talk to us about what you learned. So it's going to be so awesome. You've got to make sure that you are subscribed to the notifications. And if you happen to miss any of it, you can always watch them in the group we're streaming to the page and to the group. And you also go to FunnelHackerTV and see them there at some point. I'm not sure how fast they're going to get put up there, but they'll be there eventually. Yep. Okay. Right, so today we're going to be talking, we're going to be doing I skipped one, funnel hacking with Ben. Then we're going to be doing some funnel hacking live news. Then we're going to have some Hacker Heroes stuff. We've got our eyes on some of you out there. And then we've got funnel hackers on location.
With a special guest.
Today, which is exciting. So, all right, let's go do funnel hacking with Ben first.
Let's do funnel hacking with Ben, and then let's go ahead and bring on our guests. So really quick, guys, if you guys are not following everything that Russell's doing right now, Russell did a post last week or earlier this week, and it made me stop and think for a little while, because we are getting so lost in everything that's happening at Funnel Hacking Live. We want to give you all the details, including how you can get your hands on your genuine linchpin. But like, we're going to give you a whole bunch of stuff. But in order to pause for a moment, can we go ahead and pull this up? Russell did a post as he's preparing for Funnel Hacking Live and being in the middle of the madness. Russell shared a couple of posts, one of him with his sister, where it would have been her 45th birthday. And his sister died a while ago, and they had a very special connection. There's a very special story there. And so he shared that. And then the next day he went live early in the morning. I don't know if you guys know this, but Russell is not like sleeping. Like, he is working his ever-loving face off right now. And he shared, like, in the middle of all this is how I'm staying grounded. This is what I'm doing. And he shared what he's doing in the mornings. And in the mornings, he's doing his religious scripture study. Like, that's what he's doing in order to keep grounding. He goes, you know what? Business is this amazing thing that we get to do during life. That is the funnest game we get to play. But it's not life. He goes, he talks about how you stay grounded outside of that. Like, there are things that pull you in. He goes, I don't care what kind of scriptures you read your scriptures. If your scriptures is poetry, read poetry. If you have a set of scriptures for your denomination, do it. He goes, just touch base with why we are here. What is your purpose for being here? And find that grounding. Everything else becomes a game. And it's a fun and beautiful and amazing game. A lot of us get so stuck in this, if this fails, I'm a failure mode. Russell never does. And one of the ways he does that is because his grounding is not the business. And so as you prepare for Funnel Hacking Live and you get ready for all these things, remember what grounds you and hold on to those things for yourself. That's going to be really, really, really important and really valuable, especially as you start to grow. I got a message from a friend actually recently, and she was like, I'm trying to be this big boss lady, and I'm not that kind of person, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. Like, how do you do it? I'm like, I don't feel like I'm that person at all. Why are you asking me? And the best answer I could give was from a book that Russell is studying. So if you want to listen to something over the weekend, it's called The War of Art. So it's not The Art of War. It's The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. And he specifically talks about how you actually like let go of the ego. How this is all about like you're doing your art. You're in this war every single day for your art. Recognize this is our art. This is our fun. This is what we do. But you let go of the ego in that. You disconnect it. So that way, when you have the win, that's great. But your job is just to continue to create. And it's in that creation that greatness happens. So keep creating. And as you do that, we have a really cool way to help you create over the next couple of days. And if you are coming to Funnel Hack, if you're not coming to Funnel Hacking Live, we're going to show you how to stay on top of things. There's a specific process that we need all of you to do who are coming to Funnel Hacking Live in order to support everybody else. This is our call to arms. Okay. So should we bring on our special guest?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, and yeah, okay. We'll bring on the guest, then we'll go to the next segment. All right.
Yeah.
So this person is becoming known for documenting your journey. You guys have been hearing us talk about hashtag journey to FHL, right? We're like, hashtag journey to FHL. It's funny if you go, we're actually gonna be highlighting a lot of posts that you guys have been using that hashtag on in just a little bit. But one of the things that I'm going to tell a little bit of my story, and it's to introduce the person that we're bringing on. So bear with me. 2 Funnel Hacking Lives ago is when my community with my team, Andrea Peer, my partner, it's when the idea of what we do now was born, and it was at FHL. And we were up till like 2 a.m., like geeking out on all of the things. And we're like, oh, we should do this. We should do this. And it's like when our partnership kind of unofficially began. We took photos of that night. We took photos while we were there. And we use those today to tell the origin story of what we did 2 years ago at FHL. So when we talk about like document your journey, be making posts about your journey to FHL. Even if you're not going to FHL, like you should be documenting what's going on right now with you, because you're going to wish that you had later on when you're telling the story of this huge idea that you had, or when the beginning of something we didn't know it was going to be the beginning of what it turned into. And I'm so grateful that we had those images that we can look back on. I have like some videos of conversations that we were having that night of forming the ideas, right? So our guest today is going to help us give us some tips and other ideas of how we can be documenting our journey while we're at FHL. He's like a professional photographer, videographer, amazing human being. So please welcome Christopher Cross to Funnel Hacker TV. Hopefully that intro did you justice, Christopher.
No, it did great. I really appreciate the intro. I do have to say I kind of have chills after what Ben was sharing, because I have a similar story, and why documenting is so dear to my heart and so connected to me is I was only with my sister for 12 years when she was unexpectedly taken from this earth. And unfortunately, there's only like 5 pictures of us together. We only have 1 family photo with all of us when she was alive. So I really resonated with Russell's post, and I agree. Like, the business is the game, but the real thing is the emotional journey that we're on in this life. And I think it's so important to document. And
just kind of tying that all back in of, when we were just talking about Russell's posts, and he, in his stories, in his share about that experience, it wasn't in the one that we were just highlighting here, but he posted recently, pictures of him and his sister when they were, or maybe it did show here, yes, of when he was younger, and that was documented. So personal life documented, And then now today he's documenting like how he even is approaching business, right? In like, you know, come back to your center, come, you know, scripture study involved. Russell's like the master of documenting things. Like, it's awesome. It's so cool to see.
And you notice it's not vanity documenting. It's not, I just did, oh my gosh. It's the lows, the highs, the things that keep you in between. It's life. Because at some point you're going to want to look back and say, that's that moment when I had that idea. That was right before this. I remember where I was, what I was doing right before 9/11, because I was writing. I just made it like a goal and I started writing stuff. I still have those papers. They're near and dear to my heart. So we're going to talk about how to document your journey in a little bit more detail in here in a minute. But we wanted Christopher on here because these topics like are important. So first off, should we jump into Funnel Hacking Live news?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's go ahead and jump into there. So you guys are all coming to Funnel Hacking Live. If you're not, there's something specific that we need you guys to do. This is slightly inspired by what you're doing, Christopher, so we appreciate you so much. If you guys aren't coming to Funnel Hacking Live, there's a way to follow what is happening at Funnel Hacking Live. And it's something that I am doing, and it's something that Susan is doing. And so let's go ahead and see if we can share Susan's screen here really quick. We are changing. We are doing all of our social posts, and we're doing them with the hashtag JourneyToFHL. And so if you want to follow everything that's happening, simply go up to the search bar and do hashtag JourneyToFHL. You can follow Susan's journey. You can follow my journey, and we're going to be updating all the different times when something crazy happens. We're going to be taking a picture of notes. We're going to be freaking out. We're going to be, you know, when we have a really good conversation with somebody, we're going to be documenting the journey to Funnel Hacking Live throughout Funnel Hacking Live. And so document the journey to and document the journey during. Definitely use this hashtag because number one, today, we're going to grab all the posts from you guys who have already started to document the journey several days in advance. We love you. We appreciate you. We want to highlight you because we want to highlight the rest of you. And we want no one to feel left behind. This is the goal. The goal is to give the word out there, to be able to share this with as many people as possible. So share in the community. If you're uncomfortable sharing the community, share on your personal page. Use the hashtag JourneyToFHL. I'm going to be doing several different lives as I'm getting all my stuff together. And like, I'm bringing like light boxes and like all these different things in order to like make the booth look well, look really good. And we're going to be like documenting us walking around. I'm going to be documenting the drive down and creating like a recap video for you guys on Monday. We have a whole schedule that we're doing for Funnel Hacking Live. And so really quick, should we go over the basic schedule with everybody really quick?
Yeah, probably should. Also, like, we'll get into this more later, but just because we didn't show his profile with the cool Funnel Hacker TV banner, Christopher's definitely going to be doing Journey to FHL as well. Yes. So make sure you follow him as well. Okay, so schedule, because this is like the number one question that we're getting right now is like, does anybody know the schedule?
And so first off, you should be at Funnel Hacking Live on Tuesday. Like you should fly in and be registered on Tuesday. Why? Because we start Wednesday afternoon. And if you are not registered on Wednesday morning, it's going to be a flood. It's going to be madness. Plus, it's less time to be able to hang out with all the funnel hackers who are just hanging out and loitering and looking for somebody to talk to share their idea with. If you are a funnel builder, you should be there, ears wide open, to listen, to support, to give ideas, and then to help them build. If you are somebody who is trying to create their business, find people you can synergize with. It's not all about what you can do alone. This is the who, not the how. And this is where it comes powerful. So plan on coming on Tuesday. If you guys are coming on Wednesday, then here's the deal. Registration is on Tuesday. You should be able to register until about, I think it's like 10 o'clock to 8, something around there, 10 to 7. Plan on that around 10 to 7. These are not set times. Like you guys should be getting all these details privately. So we're just giving you the rough. Tuesdays around, is it 11 to 7? Am I getting this wrong, Susan?
Do you mean 7 to 11?
No, I think we're starting a little bit later on Tuesday.
Okay, you're saying 10 to 7, and I'm just confused by that. I don't know if anyone else is. It might just be me.
Yeah. And then on Wednesday, registration starts very early. All right, so we're going to open up the doors as soon as we possibly can. You need to be registered before 11:30. Why 11:30? Because 11:30. When they open the doors, when they decide to do all these things, is their choice. When lunch happens, is their choice. You need to show up every single morning when you're told. You'll be told the time to show up. You'll be told when it's going to finish. We're going to tell you when food is. Everything is taken care of. So that way, number one, when the days we're feeding you, we'll tell you when we're feeding you. The days when we have trucks brought in, you have food truck options, we'll tell you when those are and where. We will show you everything and make sure that your experience is taken care of. Your job is to get registered as soon as possible. Now, what if you're not going? Susan and I are doing some crazy stuff in order to help document the journey. Thank you, Christopher. And we are going live every single day we are out there. That means we're going live on Monday, sharing our journey to funnel hacking live. So that way you know where you're going, what it is you're doing, all the different processes, that way you're taken care of. So we're going to do that, number one. Number two, we're going to show you kind of behind the scenes. People are starting to show up. What's it actually looking like? Oh my gosh, the banners are going up. They just laid this cool crosswalk. Like, we're going to start to kind of tease the experience for you guys. That way when you show up, you can do the exact same thing. We are trying to show you how to document step by step. And we're going to be taking some advice really quick from Christopher here in a second on how to do this. And so I keep on, like, there's a reason Christopher's here. And we appreciate him so much.
I'm like trying to be quiet, so keep talking.
You're fine.
Well, why don't we give you a chance to talk for a minute? So, Christopher, when are you arriving? What we can get into like the like tips and everything, but like what is the trip there looking like for you and documenting and all that stuff?
Well, let's be honest. The trip started like 3 months ago, right? Like that's when it all started. But I actually have a unique experience because I'm a drone pilot, and there's a drone conference in Lakeland, Florida tomorrow and Saturday. So I'm flying red eye tonight, going to Orlando and taking the train down to Lakeland. So I'm starting tonight. So I'm going to start posting shot types. I call them journey clips. So I tell people only focus on 5 to 15 second videos. You don't need to walk through the airport for 5 minutes with your camera rolling, just 5 to 15 seconds, and capture all of that that's going on, all the registration, showing up to Orlando, just 5 to 15 seconds. That way you have a clip, but you also get to enjoy the process and you're not worried about your camera. So journey clips, 5 to 15 seconds of all those things Ben's talking about. And I'm going to be giving examples of, here, you might want to shoot this. You might want to shoot this all along my journey through FHL.
That is so cool.
Okay, so that was Wednesday, Ben, for the schedule, right?
Yes. So we're going to be going live, and then every day we're going to be going live during lunch, doing recaps of everything. And so if you guys want text messages when we go live each day at lunch and on Monday and Tuesday, you need to text FHTV to 208-231-3797. In order to support you guys, if you guys are coming to Funnel Hacking Live, we will give you a real linchpin. I'm so excited about these. I just keep wanting. We'll give you a real linchpin if you guys come over to the booth. We have a limited number of them, but if you come over to the booth and register with that, let us know. We'll go ahead and get you one of these. This one's really heavy duty. There are lighter ones as well. But yeah, so definitely put in those details in order to get all the updates. If you guys are at Funnel Hacking Live, we're working on right now a way to exclude you guys so you can enjoy the experience. You don't get reminders from us. Because the last thing we want you to do is be surrounded by people at Funnel Hacking Live on your phone. It's the last thing we want. So your job is to go out and to share and to give and to experience and to grow. So we're going to be doing that. And then every night, not sure we're going to do a text for these, but every night we're going to be doing a group panel of some sort. And so we're going to be bringing people on and talking about what was your aha, what was the best speaker for you, how did this turn out? And so if you guys want to be involved in those, definitely watch the Facebook group every single night. We're not going to have a set time because those times just fluctuate. It's an amazing event. And if you really want to, you can watch it the next morning of, so that way you can get all the recaps. So that way you can start the morning seeing what happened yesterday at Funnel Hacking Live.
Sweet.
So there's some crazy stuff happening.
Wow.
Really excited. Should we highlight some of the people that are already documenting their journey? Does that sound cool?
Yeah, let's do that. And then
Let's
we'll
do
get
some hacker heroes,
into-
shall we? Let's go ahead and do that.
Awesome.
Haha.
And then we'll go ahead and share my screen when this is done. Okay, awesome. You are like on the trigger, Christian. I love it. Okay. All right. So Christian, just so no one thinks that I'm misspeaking, there's Christopher who's joining us and Christian's in the back end doing all of our stuff. Okay.
It's magic.
Okay, so we've got a lot of you starting to use the hashtag Journey to FHL. I don't know. I mentioned this one on our last episode of like Dan posted. This is Dan Havey. He's like, he went out and bought this image. We highlighted this on the last episode, I think.
Yes. Everyone will be hanging out with Dan.
Yeah. Think like this is easy, right? It's like just post about how you're preparing. Like, oh, I went and got this thing that I'm going to bring with me, right? This is another one from Dan. He's got all of his ClickFunnels bags he's got from the years past stacked up. He's like, I'm ready. I'm starting to pack. And then we've got, now this is, these notifications. This is Sarah. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You're
Sarah
popular.
Canali. And she actually, we talked about her when we were doing a video contest. We highlighted one of her videos. So this is Sarah. She looks familiar to you. That is probably why. And she just wanted to share her story. She's like, a few weeks ago, I submitted. I didn't win. That's okay. But she starts talking about like her journey. She's saying, my journey started back in 2020 after I had my son. And she's just calling her shot. Like, I will walk the stage. And she's kind of laying out her hopes and like what she wants to get out of FHL. And she says, I cannot wait to share in the energy with all of you at FHL. So hashtag Journey to FHL. So that's an awesome way to go and like make some content today of like, where did this journey start with you? And then what are you hoping to get out, right? We've got Jason and Economides. He's in our group. He's one of our ClickFunnels marketing specialists, group expert in marketing specialists.
Mm-hmm.
He's posting about last year. He's got his badge. Can't wait to get a fresh one of these next month. Pumped. Awesome post. So there's like things you could be posting to, and we'll talk a minute and about like why you would want to be posting and using this hashtag too.
Yes.
Talia, she just got her linchpin book and Journey to FHL. She's like, just in time for FHL, right? Like,
yes.
In time, bring it. Like, if you guys
that's going to be airplane material.
Yeah, bring it with you. You might want to make notes in it during FHL.
Oh, that's smart.
Oh, good. The notifications aren't even actually showing. I'll stop worrying about those.
It's all right.
Daddy Walsh, he's starting to pack. You can see like his suitcase is just full of swag so far. Make sure you leave room for the new swag you're gonna get.
Yeah, careful, Danny.
And then we got Julie. She actually started her journey a while ago. She's on the road to FHL 23. I saw one of her other posts. She did a video where they're in Vegas at some other conference right now on their, like, I think it was Vegas, but then I think they're like driving all the way across the country. I'm assuming,
Cool.
maybe flying. Maybe they're flying. I'm not going to make those assumptions, but she's starting to post their travels right now on their way to Orlando.
That's beautiful.
And then we're back to Ben. So those are all the posts that I pulled. Oh yeah. So there's so many posts going into that hashtag right now. And we want you guys to contribute. We want to be able to pull that hashtag up next time when we're doing FHTV next week. We will probably pull some more posts and then maybe we'll highlight one of yours. So definitely start doing that. So should we move into the funnel hackers on location?
We should. How do you become a good funnel hacker on location? We're posting all the time that we're there. How do you make the most of this event for you? And honestly, making the most of this event is going to be present. It's going to do all these things. But the minute you leave that event, the people who knew you were there was you, your parents, maybe a spouse, your mom definitely knows. And then like maybe the people you meet might remember. How do you actually make sure that you make the most of this event? So I remember when I started to do this kind of idea, like everything changed when I started documenting. So Christopher, as we're preparing, like, so Susan and I are about to start doing our own. So I'm going to start documenting, like, so I'm getting a rental car. I'm driving all the way down. And so I'm like getting everything ready. So that way I got the phone all set up, and that way I can, I can have talks in the car, and like, I'm thinking about this. Susan is getting ready. She's got the gimbal, like she's gonna be walking around with. It's spectacular. Like, what are the best practices for collecting all of these as we're going? And anything else that you want to start with or begin?
So I kind of already talked about the journey clips, right?
Yeah.
If you look at any video, including the intro and outro that you guys do for FHTV, it is full of a bunch of 5 to 3 second clips, right? And the longest one is during a 3-hour feature film, you might get a 15-second clip. Right. So I want you to remember that, because if you do anything longer than that, you're wasting time on not only capturing, it's taking up too much time then, but also on the editing side of things, you have to go through all of that. So make sure you're doing short, concise clips, and don't be afraid to do clips of absolutely everything you're doing. So when you're at the checkout counter to get your rental car, or when you're checking into your flight, just do a quick walk-up video of that, 5 to 10 seconds, and then put it away, check in, go through security, pull out your camera again, 5 to 10 seconds, and just build the rhythm and build the habit of getting 5 to 10 second clips, because that right there is going to be magic for you after the fact. If you have it, you can use it. If you don't have it, you can't use it, right? And that's an important thing to remember. I think a lot of times in documenting, we get all in our heads and we think, oh, documenting has to be at this angle and it has to look this way, and I have to have sound and light and all this stuff. And from the Facebook post that we highlighted today, it's obvious that documenting is literally, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm traveling there. Here's the sunset. Here's the sunrise. Here's the plane that I'm on. Those are the kinds of things to get you started. And I want everyone to change their mentality to this countdown to FHL, to a countdown to the end of FHL. Because when we count down to the beginning of FHL, our brain turns off. We're here, we're just going to be at FHL, and we don't think about documenting to the end. So keep in mind, the end of FHL is 9 days away, not 3 or 4 when you get there, right? So, and if you have that mentality, then you can say, okay, I can do 5 to 10 second clips all the way through. The other key trick, Ben, you mentioned the only people that are going to know is you, your family, your friends, the people that don't understand what you're doing, but you're going to Florida anyway.
But you're not going to go to like Disney World or anything like that. You're going to this weird event. Yeah.
Exactly. But one of the most important things, and I think it's important for each of us to do along with the other people that we meet, is take video and photo of ourselves with those people. And Susan gave that great story of her and Andrea at Funnel Hacking Live a couple of years ago. Yeah. They didn't know what would blossom from that relationship, right? So when you meet someone new, take a selfie, photos are okay for documenting. I'm big on the video, but you can work those photos in. Video just gives you a little bit more leeway when you're putting a final product together after the fact. And that is the kind of the overarching big goal, is to have all of these journey clips that afterwards you can put together and say, wow, I'm cool. I did that.
And it's, if you take a picture of people that you're meeting too, it's a really nice way to be able to message them later, send them the picture, and then send a quick audio that's, hey, I really appreciated this about connecting. You're going to be learning about return on relationships at Funnel Hacking Live. So you're going to learn like how the process works, and it's more personal, but take pictures, take photos. And it's the funny things. If you're walking past something like, oh, that's funny, phone, grab that. That's really funny. That's really cool. Share the experience. We can't wait to share your experiences with everybody. Flood us. We're asking for it. Yeah.
And I think, Ben, along with those lines is it kind of takes some practice and some getting used to having the thought, oh, I need to document that, right? Yeah. So make sure and that's why I say start from when you leave your house and get in the lift to go to the airport, or when you get in the car to drive away, or whatever the case may be, start getting in that habit, because when you're used to it, by the time you get to Florida, then it's second nature. And then the next piece of advice I want to give everyone is don't feel the need to record everything, which is kind of counterintuitive because I just said
Record everything.
Record everything, right? But what I mean by that is you don't need 15 shots of the stage at Funnel Hacking Live. You might want to get a 5-second clip of each speaker as they present. We're not supposed to record the speeches, right? So we got to keep that in mind. But, you know, a quick clip of Russell Brunson walking on stage. Great. That's that one. You don't need that stage again for the entire time that he's talking. Same thing with all the speakers. Do that initial 5 seconds. You're done. Forget about it and focus. You want to be able to learn and participate. And that's what I really specialize in helping people do, is enjoying the journey while documenting it. We don't want to get on this mindset that we have to document. And then at the end, we're like, well, I have all these pictures, but what did I just experience, right? We want to make sure we're documenting, but we also want to do it in a way that is second nature and it's out of sight, out of mind. The cool thing about 5 to 15 second clips, you can post those in your Facebook stories multiple times a day with the hashtag JourneyToFHL, and that will start to get you seen. And you don't have to do any editing. You got it. Like, it's a 5-second clip. Great. And then people will begin to start to follow you on your journey during FHL and see what you're doing. And maybe some people will understand what you're all about.
Now, okay, so you're about to take this journey. Sorry, Susan, I'll let you. Where are you posting this journey to? Because are you just putting it on your personal profile, or like where are you dropping this stuff so that way it gets the most visibility and it's still valuable for other people, like it's not spamming?
So that's a great question. And for me, recently, with the help of the Geek Out Academy that Susan and Andrea do, shout out to them, I've been transitioning my Facebook to business, right? And so I have a lot of connections on there. They're expecting to see business stuff, and I mix it with personal. So I'll post about my drone stuff. But the one thing I don't want to do to make it feel spammy is I don't want to do a bunch of static posts on my page. That's why I utilize stories, and I'll probably do some Instagram stories as well, because those disappear. And if you don't want to see it, great. You can skip that one and go to the next. The other thing I'm going to be doing is posting into the FHL group for all those that are at FHL and the ClickFunnels official group, so people can see what's going on at Funnel Hacking Live. But again, I don't want to be too spammy. So it's just, those are going to be occasional posts. Hey, I got here. This is the venue. This is where we're at. That kind of thing, to help people kind of get an idea of what is a good thing to document.
I'd say one of the things that we probably shouldn't do is take that same piece of content and like go post it in every group that we are a part of, right? We don't want to do that. I was going to say before Ben was talking, so I mentioned earlier about like one of the reasons why I feel it's important to be documenting your journey. Christopher shared one of his reasons, and just kind of touched on just now of like one of the other benefits of like, next week, Funnel Hacking Live is going to be like the trending thing within this community, right? It's going to be where everyone's going to want to know what's going on, whether you're there or not. Like, especially if you're not attending, you're going to be like trying to find all the posts you can find, so you feel like you're in the loop. And so what an amazing thing to be able to be providing that content and getting eyes on you, because you are putting that content out there while everyone's at FHL and they're all like looking for that hashtag and looking for the content. So great way to increase visibility for yourself as well.
Yeah, the other thing you can do with that, and I've alluded to it during this conversation, is I'll be putting my Journey to FHL hashtag on content that applies to what I teach people and my membership and my linchpin. So not only am I sharing my FHL journey, but people are going to be able to get a better understanding of who I am and what I do. And so we can all do that. We all have our different things that we're doing. And I'm going to celebrate my friends that I'm meeting at FHL and highlighting them. And it's a really cool way for us to not be spammy and say, bye for me, but say, hey, this is FHL through my eyes and through my vision. And that's a completely different picture for each one of us. And that's what makes the posting with the hashtag really cool, because you can go on Facebook and search for hashtag Journey to FHL, and it will search all of the groups and all of those things. And that's the other reason you don't have to go post it in 15 different places, because if you use the search feature, you can find all of those posts pretty easily.
And like, there's going to be different hashtags you can use the entire time. You're going to be able to use Journey to Funnel Hacking Live, Journey to FHL. You're going to be able to use FHL 23. I think that's going to be more the official one when you're doing your insights. There's going to be like, this is the way, when Russell starts to talk about the linchpin and he talks about the Mandalorian, this is the way. That's going to become a thing. Like, there's going to be touch points and things that are using. So as you're taking notes, just note the different hashtags you can use, but always make sure to use Journey to FHL, because we're going to highlight you and we want to highlight you. And this is going to be the way everybody else who's not there can get involved. So definitely check those out. Any last suggestions really quick?
I want to say one last thing as a suggestion. If you're watching this live, you're probably feeling a little overwhelmed at all the things I told you to just do, right? What I want you to remember is give yourself permission and some grace to not document everything, right? And document and get yourself into the mindset of, oh, this is important, and then train yourself to document the important moments. It's not about running around like crazy with your camera, filming everything. It's about filming the things or photographing the things that are going to help you remember and imprint that into your heart. So after FHL, when you leave and the fanfare is over and everything, you can keep that fire going, right? We talk about documenting and we get caught up in this idea that it's for the moment. No, it's for next year when you're walking across the stage, that you can say, I went to FHL last year and look at where I was last year and now I'm here. So don't get caught up and don't get overwhelmed. Just get in the habit of doing some 5 to 10 second clips multiple times a day. And if not posting helps you out, don't post it. If posting one helps you out, then post it. Just do or follow the path of least resistance is what I'm saying. Because I'm a first-time FHL attendee this year. I know I'm going to be overwhelmed. I'm a photographer, so I've photographed plenty of conventions. I kind of know what I'm getting into, but I don't know what I'm getting into. That's what I'm focusing on my documenting, right? I want to remember what my first FHL was. And I encourage everyone to do the same, whether it's your first or your 7th or 4th, whatever it be. Document in a way that's going to make you remember what you experienced at FHL.
Amazing. I love it. Such great advice from Christopher. People are loving it in the chat. So good. Thank you. So thank you for joining us today. All right. And just a reminder to everyone. So the hashtag Journey to FHL, keep using that. Like Christopher said, the journey doesn't end when the event begins. It goes through the whole thing. Okay. So keep using it. That's the hashtag we're going to be looking up as well. And then use those other ones too that Ben mentioned. So, all right. Anything else, Ben, that we need to address before we sign off?
I think that's it. If you guys are preparing for Funnel Hacking Live and you know you don't have a ticket, feel free to document your journey as well. Feel free to share what it is that you are learning from everybody else's experiences. Feel free to comment on their posts, search, support. We're here for you. We're here to try to help everybody collect it all for you. Collect the gems and have a great time. We can't wait to see you till next week, because it's going to be a blast.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Next week, all the things.
There are so many people walking around who don't know that they can change the world.
You were born to do something great with your life. As an entrepreneur, you're going to have painful experiences, but all pain is temporary. And if you can survive it, you will meet another version of yourself.
I was just numb. We were racking up credit cards. We stopped paying for our house. We literally were selling furniture out of our home.
I felt trapped and exhausted by my life, and I couldn't see a way out.
I felt like a shell of who I was made to be.
In life, you are most capable of helping the person you used to be. If you used to be broke, you can help broke people. If you used to be broken, you can help broken people.
It starts with you. You hear the call. You feel it. It's beating, it's pulsing. I'm made for something more.
We get scared.
And then fear hits us.
The little voices in the back of our head.
I'm not ready. I'm not worthy. The driven say, no, I'm going to do it. The driven are you guys here today.
More people are finding their breaking point and waking up.
I have a calling. Yesterday I realized I have to do this.
There's a soul here at ClickFunnels.
I felt like I had gone through the wardrobe of the Chronicles of Narnia, and I was just like, what is this magical place that makes billionaires?
I'm going to show you the magic trick that's made me all of my money.
My best-selling framework.
Start out closing if you're going to end up closing.
82% of customers trust influencers.
This better blow your mind and allow you to predict the future.
People need aliveness and meaning again.
Who do you want to become? What do you want to felt and experience in this one precious life?
You wouldn't be able to tell, but I ran the New York Marathon when I was 19. Life happened and my mom passed away. One of my daughters had a traumatic brain injury, wasn't expected to live.
When you meet somebody that continues to push through adversity, that is the definition of an entrepreneur. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sponsor you through this journey because everybody deserves an opportunity. What you do with it is up to you.
People feel a sense of belonging here.
It feels like home. It's so encouraging because if they can do it, so can I.
It starts with saying, hey, next year we're going to get that.
Russell has a way of teaching that makes success faster.
In my opinion, he's the best marketer who ever lived.
You find exactly what your business is missing.
It's going to amplify every campaign you do.
If you've been thinking there has to be a better way to do this than what you're being told, I'm here to tell you you're right.
People might say you're too young or you're too old or your body's not right or you didn't go to the right school. Then one day, they're telling people how they met you.
FunnelHacking Live changed my entire life because now I know what I'm going to do next.
Your family's going to be blessed. Your legacy's going to be blessed. Movements are about to be birthed.
My story hopefully gave women permission.
If you believe me, stand to your feet.
You do not have to be great to get started, but you have got to start if you ever want to be great.